Okay, let's see if that works. Good try it. Sorry I'm late, folks. This is why I start a minute early in case crap like this happens. Okay, now it's working. Oh my god. Hey, welcome. We have the iPhone SE. We're going to let notifications go out and then the stream can get started briefly. Sorry if it wasn't working at first. My god, YouTube has broken everything, haven't they? They completely have redesigned the way live streaming works. It's very confusing. Um, for some reason, I hit start and it went to like they changed the stream key. So in order to live stream, you plug in a stream key to OBS, and this stream key is a different one from the last stream. I don't know why on Twitch it's just one stream key, but whatever. Refresh your pages if it's not working. Yes, we are live. Nithin GK. Yes, we have the dual cam like normal. We started out to a bumpy beginning, but I think it's working now. Okay. See, I got the same wallpaper. I actually did this like once the iPhone SE came out. I was like, how can I get this wallpaper? Check out Apple iDesigner on Twitter. He hooked me up with it. Hey, okay, it's working. Sorry about that, folks. Appears the chat is working. On Twitch, you have one stream key, okay? So you plug that into OBS, and then as long as you don't touch the stream key, whenever you click start streaming, you stream to that channel. YouTube decided to change the stream key, so now I have to update the key every second. This is why I don't like streaming on YouTube, but this is what people voted for in the poll. If you're not following me on Twitter, your voice is not being heard for future decision making. But anyway, no frames have dropped so far. We'll get started in a second. Don't worry. We're just waiting on notifications to roll out so people get notified that we're beginning, and then you can join. Get iPhone SE case and put it on an 8 and put the new wallpaper and call it a day. Pretty much, Sleek FX. So yeah, we've been talking about the second generation SE for a long time. I mean, ever since the first one came out, way back in 2016, everyone was talking about the next generation one or what the follow-up to the next SE is going to be. And I made videos about it in the attic days about SE2 and what it could be and when it isn't coming, or if this is going to become an annual thing, a biannual thing. Now it appears to be every 4 years. So maybe we won't get a third generation iPhone SE until 2024. So while the phone itself is quite boring, because yes, it is, iPhone 8 updated wallpaper. That's pretty much it. It's something that happens pretty rarely. It's not that often it actually happens. So, yeah, I'll be swapping my SIM to this one. I'm not keeping it long term, but the story will develop in time. We'll see. Either way, though, we'll get started here. I'm going to keep the Pro Max. Yes, sorry. The good news is I've been taking a lot of medication, so my psoriasis is cleared up on the hands. So Touch ID, which I haven't used in a long, long time, should be working much better for me now. So I finally get to use Touch ID the way it was intended to. Can you clean the Cheeto dust out of your hair? No, I have to put Cheeto dust in my hair. That's part of my morning routine. 2024 iPhone SE with the iPhone 10 body? Probably, yeah. Great content. Thank you. Okay, I think we can get started. We've been live for a few minutes now. And there's not much surprises here anyway, okay? Let's rip off some plastic. Smells good. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay. Oh, you know what? Before we look at the phone itself, let me just... Much better. Now we've got an updated background with the updated boxes. Cool. Okay. Moving into the phone itself. Ooh, yes, black bezels. Yes, black bezels. Okay. This is what I wanted. So this one's face up. Weren't the iPhone 11s face down? Whoa, it's a little baby. Oh, that is so clean. Holy crap, I don't want to even take the plastic off. That looks so good. And it's so light, man. I am so accustomed to the weight of this phone. It's not even funny. Look at, they still look, there's a giant price difference there, but they look pretty similar. You got 3 versus 1. This is silver versus white. There is a bit of a finish here because this is obviously glossy. But rest in peace to the white bezels. Ooh. You are way too excited about this? Well, you're watching, so you must be somewhat excited. Okay, let's get some plastic peeling here. And there you have it. Oh, I love that contrast. That looks amazing. I'm talking about the design because that's pretty much all we can talk about. I love that contrast of just a bright white finish back, and it's already got fingerprints on it. It's been ruined. I hate it now. Super thin and light though compared to what I've grown accustomed to on here. This is like default phone for me, so this is weird having a phone this light. May I just add, like this is the most minimal, simple, like clean back of an iPhone I've ever seen. Because in previous generation iPhones, we've had one camera, we've had the Apple logo, but now there's not even iPhone text. And I know it varies depending on where you live in your country, but there's no writing down here. I mean, everybody got the product red one, which is why I was trying to be a little bit different. But like, there's no product red. All we've got on the back of this phone: logo, flash, mic, camera. That's everything. There's no other writing. Like that is a dang minimal looking design. Like that just looks cool. Got, of course, our aluminum edges, which I'm kind of a big fan of, to be honest. Like, stainless steel is cool and all, but it collects these little micro scratches over time. You're probably not going to be able to see them on camera. Like, the glass on the back of this phone is aged really well, but the stainless steel, I don't know. It's okay. It looks nice, but it collects fingerprints a lot more than aluminum does, which has this more matte finish to it. Yeah, I know the UK still has the FCC labels, but here in the US at least, that is clean. That is so cool. And now the front is, more familiar. But I'm just so glad they ditched the white bezels personally. I know there's some weirdos out there that disagree. Let's get that crap out of there. Don't need that. Lightning, obviously. Oh well. And let's boot it up. Oh yeah, the home button doesn't even click. I forgot about that. My wife still uses an iPhone 6, and she insists that she does not want this thing. She doesn't want it because she is content with using her iPhone 6 until it dies. Just because even if this is cheap, she doesn't want to spend any more. She doesn't want to send a single penny on another phone. So if she got something for free, I don't know, maybe, but this isn't free. So let's boot this bad boy up here. I don't know what all we can do. I don't think this is going to be an hour-long stream, but I was thinking of doing some portrait mode shots and doing a Geekbench test. That's all I could think of doing. Unless you guys have other questions for me, I can do it. When you have joint bank accounts, it's kind of hard to surprise people with gifts. Your dad got his SE today too. I've seen so many people say that. Either Scott, you've been telling me that in all these different platforms, or my assumption is correct. And the iPhone SE is the phone for everyone's dad, because this just makes so much sense as a parental phone. Okay, it's booting up here. I'm gonna do the quick setup here. So give me a second to just line up everything. I'll walk you through it. Just kidding. You know how this works. I guess you need to accidentally break her phone. Oops! Sorry, your iPhone 6 is... You know what's funny? The iPhone 6, which is the same size and kind of the same design as this phone. This is just the iPhone 6 perfected. Neither of them have 3D Touch, which is kind of interesting. This design of an iPhone has aged from before 3D Touch was a thing to after 3D Touch was given up on. Which is kind of funny. So this phone or my wife's phone, neither of them have 3D Touch. That's how long this design has lasted. Please don't play with the background. Don't tempt me. I will do it if you keep asking. Okay, set up Touch ID. Okay, let's try. I've got a normal thumb now. I'm trying to remember the last time I used Touch ID. I think in 2018 when the product Red 8 Plus came out. I switched to that for a few months after using the iPhone 10 for a while, and I used Touch ID on that for a little bit. But other than that, I haven't used Touch ID in the past few years. Oh, this is different. Did you guys know it looks like this now? Transfer your data, transfer from iPhone, download from iCloud. I've never seen that before. I don't know how new that is. I'm going to do neither because I don't want to restore from backup. I like when the phone's just a clean start, clean refresh. Um, my husband only has one hand, and the original SE was the perfect size for him. Used with one hand, he had to upgrade to the 10s 2 months ago, and he's ticked off because he would have waited for the SE 2020. I'm sorry, Jenna. Hopefully he likes the 5.4-inch iPhone 12 that is coming later this year, because that's supposed to be a smaller footprint than this. Even smaller. I mean, the display will be, more bezel-less like the iPhone 10, but still, it'll be a smaller footprint than this phone, which is cool. Those bezels do be thick. They thick boy bezels. Yeah, it's all too familiar. I actually never had a 4.7-inch iPhone growing up. I went from iPhone 5 to iPhone 6 Plus, and after that, I went to 7 Plus, and then after that, 10. And so, yeah, iPhone 5 was the smallest I ever had. What happened to your psoriasis? I've been taking some medication. You can watch me take it on the Talks channel if you're creepy. But yeah, you can. I'm just asking about location services and stuff. Finished setup on new iPhone. Can Drew play Minecraft on the yes, you can. I think. Can the A13 chip handle Minecraft? We'll set up Siri later. I don't want to do that now. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this whole process. You can select the hardness of the home button clicking. Oh, man, I haven't done that in so long. Huh, I forgot about the different sensitivity levels. Honestly, I think 3 feels the best. Huh. Okay. Continue. Display zoom? Oh. I didn't know they had a display zoom as an option on the 4. I thought this was a Plus model thing. I didn't know that. Okay. Whatever. Welcome to iPhone. Okay, we're booted up. See if it works here. Really fine with those bezel. Okay. Enter. Oh, sorry. I should have tested Touch ID. Whoa. Already unlocked? So when you rest, I got to relearn Touch ID. There you go. So we got raise to wake, and then rest your fingerprint there. Now it's unlocked, and now you can go straight to home screen. And I think there's a setting that lets it go straight. No slow fees, no deal. That's true. We didn't get... Oh, wrong one. Sorry. 1 second. Ignore that. I hit the down arrow. I should have hit the up arrow. Okay, I got to test the portrait mode stuff. Oh, that's interesting. You have Quick Take on here. So, you know how the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max all had kind of the redesigned camera app? Did they let you change the... They do! Okay, cool. So, in the 11 Pro, I think this is kind of dumb, but you can't do this on older phones like the iPhone 10 and the 10R. But you can, on the SE, you can change the resolution and frame rate from within the camera app. So 4K at 60, 1080 at 60, 4K, 4K 24, 4K 30. So you can change that without even going to settings, which is weird that they make that like a pro camera feature. And you also have Quick Take. So if you hold down the camera option, you go straight into recording a video. The iPhone 8 and the 10R don't do that. All software, by the way. Like, they could totally add that to the older iPhones, and they don't. I don't know why, but it's just something they do, I guess. It's bizarre to work with a screen this small again. It's been so long. Oh, I guess I have swipe now. That's kind of nice. Ooh, I got to relearn this. This is what I remember not liking about screens this small. Okay, I'm downloading Geekbench 5, so there's no slow fees. The bezels don't actually look too bad at all. I mean, for a $400 phone, you can't really complain. I think that's Apple's genius with their iPhones, is that they're like, okay, we're either going to make, $700, $1,000 phones that are really solid, or we're going to make $400 phones, in which case you really can't complain about the specs on them. Because this phone is going to be getting updates probably 5 years from now, and most Androids, even if they're $1,500, can't even say that. The Galaxy Fold can't claim it's going to get software updates in 5 years, and that's $2,000. This is $400, and it's almost a guarantee. Can you try the app switching gesture? Is there a gesture for apps? Oh, is that like... You're talking about back in the 3D Touch days where you could, press and hold to activate. Yeah, no, you got to double click. Like the good old days. Home button is back in the building. Okay, let's try Geekbench. Should I compare it to the Pro Max? I mean, they got the same CPU. Do I even have Geekbench on here is the question. Let me double check. I can't remember. It's not something I usually just keep on my phones because I don't do it that regularly. Okay, I don't have it. I can download it pretty quick, though. Oh, if you guys wanted a confirmation that the SE has 3 gigs of RAM, it does right there. It says 2.88. Geekbench 5 doesn't have access to 100% of the RAM, but it's over 2, which does guarantee this does have 3 gigs of RAM. So if you wanted further confirmation of that, it is true. It's a RAM boost. Do you think Apple will be cheaper than Android phones? No, because there's some Android phones that are like, I don't know, $3. OnePlus can't comprehend that there's a phone more compact than the 11 Pro Max. I know. I don't have Gboard. That's not Gboard. Does someone use Gboard? Is that why you're saying it? Rest in peace, Pixel 4a. Yeah, the Pixel 4a will be a really compelling budget phone too. Its disadvantage will be software support, and the CPU will not be as fast as the SE. But it will have a really good display for the price, as well as a solid camera. So some people would definitely, I think, prefer that over the SE. I could understand that. Okay, yeah, we'll do a side-by-side. I'm downloading Geekbench 5 now. While it's doing that, I can't show you the pictures that well, but I can try to take some portrait mode shots. So obviously, we have portrait mode on the front and back. Only works on people, though. Whoa! I'm so not used to this on... Oh, it's really smooth, too. Like, the preview is really high frame rate. It looks like it's a 60 FPS preview. Maybe 30. Oh, man, those speakers. Kind of loud. Wow! I mean, I know it's hard to see for you guys, but it looks good. Like, first impressions are good. You know what's annoying is when I'm pinching to zoom on a photo, and I'm like, wait, why isn't it filling up the rest of... Like, I'm so not used to having this big chin and forehead and going backwards in so many ways. Huh. And you can even render the stage light stuff like that. It works pretty well. That's impressive. I've never done portrait mode on a camera that doesn't have the true depth system. It doesn't have the dot projector or anything. Wow. The rendering works pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, when your hand shows up, it's not that good, but it's okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's solid camera performance. Okay, Geekbench, this is all people care about. Don't body shame phones, please. Okay, you're right. That was mean of me. What are we doing first? CPU? Oh, I should, let me close all the apps on my phone just so it's a fair fight. My phone has a decent charge on it, so battery shouldn't be an issue. Not that it matters, but battery life is probably one of the biggest concerns I have with the SE in the long term. I'm curious how, man, I have a lot of apps open. Jeez. Because I have the king of battery with the 11 Pro Max, so I'm a little bit curious how going back to an SE... Oh, no. Okay, we are turning on Do Not Disturb for the duration of the stream. All right. Here we go. Geekbench side by side. We'll start with the CPU, and we will hit run. Okay, what did the clock speed say? Oh, I should have looked at that. Oh, well, we'll let it do its thing. We're going to let it do its thing. So many non-tech people think that haptic touch is actually clicking. I mean, what's your definition of click? Because it is, I mean, there is a haptic engine going off, which is kind of clicking in some ways. Do you think the SE will sell better than the 11? That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like in September, you're really close to the holidays, which is when a lot of people are buying stuff. So it probably sold really, really well, and people are trading in their phones and such. And now is not a very shopaholic time, given the climate and the pandemic and everything. So I don't know if it'll sell better than the 11, but I still think I think it'll be a long-term success. Like it will sell really, really well over the course of years, but maybe not so much in the short term. You know, you can still get one relatively quickly. I saw articles and stuff saying the iPhone SE ship times have slipped to May, and I'm like, well, delivery day is the 24th, so falling into May isn't like that's 2 weeks. It's been pushed back 2 weeks. Is it really that highly demanded? No 5G, no deal. Oh my god. Because there's no 5G. I love when people buying 5G phones are like, well, there's not much 5G network now, but you're buying it for the longevity. It's like, you're not going to get software updates in like 2 years. And now you want to talk about longevity? Come on. This phone's going to be getting software updates much longer than your phone is going to be. 5G. Will it outperform original SE sales? Yeah, see, that's a decent question. I feel like the smartphone market was probably bigger back when the original SE came out, so maybe not, because there's less people upgrading now than they used to. Because like techie people that are watching live streams like this, you guys will watch, you guys will buy new phones because they have new features that you're really excited to see. Whereas everybody else, they only upgrade their phone when their current phone gets to the point of unusable. And that's harder and harder to get now because phones are getting better and lasting longer and stuff like that. So when that happens, it's very, very difficult to get to the point where I need to upgrade my phone because the old ones are working fine. We're getting some results. Pro Max is finished early. 1328 single core, 2999 on multi-core. Remember, this is Geekbench 5, not Geekbench 4, which has very different numbers. If you're on Geekbench 4, it'll be much, much higher. One processor, 6 cores. Arrangement, 4 gigs of RAM. Indeed. Does it have a GTX 1080 Ti graphics card? Yes, indeed it does. Okay, over here, a little bit lower, 1301 single core, 2520 multi-core score. So I was reading about this already. People are saying that the A13 is not at the full speed of it is on the Pro Max. And there's a reason for that, actually. For one, is because the battery is much, much smaller on the iPhone SE. So the power output it's capable of is much lower. Not to the sense that it won't be able to get software updates as long as the 11 Pro Max. It'll still, in my opinion, it's a safe assumption to guess that every single device, every single version of iOS that the 11 Pro Max gets, this one will also get. And it's also a much, much lower resolution display. You know, you have not just a tad over 720p on here, and you have over 1080 on here. So you don't need clock speeds on the A13 to be roaring like they are all the time, because you have a much, smaller battery, so you don't want to drain it that quickly. The base frequency on the iPhone SE, for those wondering, is 2.66 gigahertz. So I do believe it is a little bit, well, that's the same frequency on my Pro Max. So there you go. There's probably just a few behind the scenes things that they turn off because the SE is so much lower powered. Let's see. Compare screens. Well, I mean, there's not really a comparison there. Come on, 4.7 versus 6.5. Yeah, look at the original SE, still getting software updates to this day. Let's see. Can it run Crysis? Absolutely it can. Why couldn't it run Crysis? Everything's very smooth, though. Like, the animations and stuff are all very fluid, which I like. Man, it's small, though. The keyboard is probably my biggest thing I have a hard time with. I just have big hands. That's the biggest problem. 3 gigs of RAM on here. 3 gigs of RAM. A13 is a little bit slower in Geekbench tests, but in day-to-day stuff, it'll be exactly the same kind of performance you get on a Pro Max. Let's see. If you buy a 5G phone, the hardware is going to be outdated by the time 5G becomes fully implemented. Exactly. I mean, the people who are buying 5G phones now are totally the people that are going to buy a new phone in 2 years that also has 5G. So it's don't splurge. Don't splurge for 5G now. Hey, Alan Brownlee, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate that. Let's see. Are you happy that Apple got rid of the white bezels on the iPhone? Absolutely. I think this looks miles better. This looks so much better than the white bezeled front. Just because, like, the issue I have with white bezeled devices is, like, they still have this thin little black line that goes around the display. So there's, like, display, black line, white bezel, and then the aluminum. And you also can't turn the camera on the front. You can't turn that white, so that sticks out like a black dot. And I feel like the home button disappears into the display light into the bezel a lot better on the black models. I gotta relearn the home button. I can barely remember how it works. So I rest it there. I rest my thumb there. Ricardo, Ricardo, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Let's see. What is the score on A12? I don't have an A12 phone with me, so I don't know. You guys can look it up. How do you feel with the color choices they provided? I think they picked the best ones. Like, the iPhone 8 actually only came in 3 colors, if you can remember that. It was, well, there was red, but that was limited time. It wasn't available a few weeks ago. But you had space gray, silver, and gold. And then in April, they launched the red version. But then I think it was like 6 months later, they stopped doing the red iPhone 8s. And the red one looked awesome, and I felt like the gold one looked good, but it had white bezels, and that threw it off. It threw it off for me. So if they would have done a gold one with black bezels, I would have loved to have seen that. But yeah, look, like the most common colors were probably white, black, and red. So I'm glad that they kept those around because those were probably the ones most people were asking for. So yeah, looks really smooth. Do we have any further questions? Let's see. Which performs better, the iPhone SE or Tesla full self-driving? Which color is best? Obviously, the best color is a very, very objective thing. But to me, like, just that combo of now having white glass on the back and black on the front. Like, we didn't have that before. We never had that with the iPhone 8, 7, 6S, or 6. And I think that looks really, really cool. I like it. No, there will not be a giveaway. iPhone 12 will not have Type-C. Any counterpoints? I wirelessly charge all the time anyway, so I don't really care what port it has on it. I'm not going to use it. And, I mean, it comes with a USB-C cable to Lightning in the box anyway, so if your argument is I want to be able to charge it with my USB-C accessories, it's like, well, it's still coming with USB-C. So that's not even necessarily a great point. I mean, I don't like that they're keeping Lightning. I wish it was USB-C, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't use it because I wirelessly charge everything. Which this supports wireless charging, by the way. Just to be clear. Yeah, it's just off camera, but here, can I bring that? There you go. I don't know why Messages is in now playing. I'm not doing anything with it. Zunk. Here, let me try it that way. There you go. Wireless charging with the Pixel stand. Thank you, Google, for sending me that. Shane X Pro, thank you for the super chat. SE and Pro Max are same. SE smaller equals worse thermal? Okay. I'm trying to understand what you mean, how they're the same. There's a lot of differences here, but I bet the reason the CPU is slower might have something to do with the thermals, or more importantly, the battery life. They want to preserve your battery life a little bit more with the A13. Is a renewed 10S or SE a better deal? I guess it depends on what you want. If you like the features on the 10S, it's all up to you. Desk tour. I did a video about that. It hasn't changed. Would you trade a bigger battery for no wireless charging? No. I hate wires. I hate fiddling with wires. I got wireless chargers all over the place. It's so much easier to just drop my phone on it and let it charge. I would rather not have fast charging so that I could have a bigger battery, because I don't care how fast the phone charges. If it lasts all day, then I don't need to plug in and charge really quickly. Change the wallpaper. Oh, that's a good point, because that's the one on the box, which I put in the background there. We do need to change the wallpaper. Let me see. What do we got? What do we got in here? Stills. Hey, oh, nice. There's several, actually. Check that out. And they're all dark mode and light mode. You know, they contrast. Thumbs get sore on the small display? Not really. No. I mean, it's probably better for one-handed use. I mean, look how easy it is for me to reach every part of this thing. Way easier. But yeah, let's match it with the Pro Max here. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve to go back to the home button, but man, that is tiny. That is convenient. Matte or glossy? I personally really prefer the glossy back. This ages so much better than the glossy back, which collects fingerprints a lot easier, and this does not get those little micro scratches over time compared to these. Based on the recent leaks that AirPower's back using an A11 chip, we should definitely have an AirPower speed test. Um, AirPower's not necessarily back. It's being worked on, but don't count on it absolutely coming out. How are the speakers? I imagine they're the same as the iPhone 8. We didn't hear that they were changing. Do you want me to play something? Every time I do that, I'm like, here, YouTube, take away all the revenue. Can I pull up? I don't want to download YouTube right now. I'm mad at them. Talos of Music. Do you think it'll go down in price when the 12 comes out? Probably not. It could, I guess, but no, I think that's too soon. It's too soon for a price reduction. The iPhone SE might get cheaper over time, but it'll probably be like a year from now. Not necessarily like in 6 months. The latest Talos of Music video, Lonely. I'm gonna try it. Oh, there's no stretch to fill the whole display. Ooh. Yeah, it gets pretty loud. Definitely not as loud as my Pro Max, but decent. I'm very happy they're stereo, okay? It was so annoying to me when I tested the Galaxy Z Flip. You spend $1,500 on a phone and it doesn't have stereo speakers. It just annoys you. Ugh. Can we see the brightness? Okay, let me do a side by side here. We'll pause that. And oh, that's I'm so lost now. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're both pretty bright, to be honest. I mean, this one's definitely brighter. No surprise there, but honestly, they're both pretty good. I don't consider this pixelated at all. This does not look like a low quality display. It's mostly the bezels that bother me more than anything. Color accuracy is good. I can't complain. They both look really nice. Both displays look excellent. But I'm no display junkie, you know. No, I can't complain for $400. I will be returning this one. I don't have plans on keeping it, but I will put my sim in here and start, using it as my daily. You can play Minecraft on it. I will not do that right now, but you can. Preston's World, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate that. Try to portrait mode object with the focus. Again, as Apple's advertised, I don't think you can. I believe it only works for faces, but I'll try if that's what you want. Emil, thank you for the super chat. Worth the upgrade to the SE for my current 7 Plus? I'd say sure, if you're comfortable with the home button and you don't want to get into the Face ID stuff. I mean, you get a lot of upgrades here. It is smaller, so if that bothers you, maybe don't do it. But if you don't mind going with a smaller phone. Yeah, so as you can see, portrait mode does not work unless it's a face, which is how it was advertised. But here's a face, and now it's working. You can even do high key mono. Whoa. Check that out. Why would you return Louise? Guys, for the last time, Louise doesn't want this thing. Do you want confirmation from that? in terms of cost benefit, which one is better, iPhone 10 or iPhone SE? I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of hardware advantages the iPhone 10 has, but it is getting older. It's A11 versus A13. So if you care about design and the way things look, probably the iPhone 10 is better. But if you just want speed and you just want, longevity, you want software support, then yeah, iPhone SE is better. Let's see. Louise has explained why she doesn't want it. This is why you should watch the Twitch streams. No, Apple doesn't charge for restocking fees or anything, which is good. A11 is quite fast, but it's definitely not going to get software updates as long as the A13 will. I can promise you that. Let's see. She has a 6S. The Magic Keyboard for my iPad Pro is one of my favorite products ever. I love the Red SE, but I'm already rocking an 11 Pro at Midnight Green. Yeah, I mean they're both solid, but yeah, I can't get rid of my Pro Max over this. I'm also loving the keyboard case. I'm still using it. Having a lot of fun with it. Chris Norton super chatted. Hello, is the SE better than the 6S? Absolutely, in pretty much every single way, except if you care about 3D touch. It does not have that. You will make your wife use the phone. Wow. Okay, Jay. You tell me. You tell me how to do it. Make a comparison with the iPhone 6 and the SE. Yeah, I thought that would be interesting because the design similarities here. It'd be kind of cool to compare the two. Camera wise, should I stick with the 8 Plus or get the SE 2020? The only advantage the 8 Plus would have is better battery life and a better display. If you don't really care that much about those two things, then this is better in pretty much every way. Oh yeah, and the 6S has a headphone jack, but who cares? Whatever. So I'm pretty sure we got everything covered. I mean, everything I can cover at least in today's stream I have covered. But if you feel like you're not getting enough content out of me because daily videos, I know it's so rare to ever see me post a video, but I'm going to plug now because while I don't do sponsorships on my channels, I can promote myself. So please check out Taylosive Podcasts. We want to get that channel to 1,000 subs. We got 785 people here. Please subscribe to Taylosive Podcasts. I'm going to be recording a new one with Nick and Randy tomorrow about our new keyboard cases, and I got the SE. Also check out Taylosive EV if you care about Teslas and electric vehicles. I'm already working on the next video for EV right now. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the super chats and the new YouTube members. You guys are awesome. Make sure those of you who became YouTube members, make sure you link it with your Discord account and you can access the premium channels. That's one of the perks you get. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.